morning, Chairman DeSantis and Ranking Member Lynch. My name is Jamiel Shaw. My son, Jamiel Andre Shaw II, was murdered by a dreamer, DACA recipient, a child brought to this country by no fault of his own. My family's peace and freedom were stolen by an illegal alien from Mexico. He was brought here by his illegal alien parents and allowed to grow up as a wild animal. Some people believe that if you are brought over by no fault of your own, that it makes you a good person. They want us to believe that Dream Act kids don't murder. I am here to debunk that myth. Kids brought over the border by no fault of their own do kill Americans. How many Americans killed by illegal aliens are too many? 1, 2, 100, 1,000, 100,000? Ask any parent whose child was murdered by an illegal alien how many is too many. As one of those parents, I am here to tell you that 1 is too many. My son, Jamiel Shaw II, was murdered while walking on his own street, 3 houses down from his home. An illegal alien on his 3rd gun charge was visiting a neighbor when my son was coming home. He shot my son in the stomach and then in the head, killing him. Do black lives really matter, or does it matter only if you are shot by a white person or a white policeman? The district attorney proved in court that my son was murdered because he was black and wearing a Spider-Man backpack. Jamiel's mother, Army Sergeant Nita Shaw, who was serving in Iraq fighting for their freedom, called me from Iraq to ask, was it true that Jazz was dead? And Jazz is the name we call our son, his nickname. How many other military families have made that same phone call from some foreign land in disbelief that their sons or daughters have been killed in America by illegal alien invaders? Do military families matter? Dream Act kids have turned my family's American dream into a nightmare. The illegal alien dreamer that murdered my son only served 4 months of an 8-month sentence for assault with a deadly weapon and battery on a police officer. He was released from the county jail the day before he executed my son. Why was this violent illegal alien allowed to walk the streets of America instead of being deported? Why was ICE not called to pick up this violent invader? We were promised that the federal government would keep us safe from violent illegal aliens. Article 4, Section 4 of the U.S. Constitution guarantees us protection against invasion. I see and hear black politicians, black athletes, black stars say, hands up, don't shoot. My son was shot in the head by an illegal alien gangbanger while he lay on his back with his hands up. He still shot him through his hand into his head and killed him. My son thought he could walk down the street and not be murdered by an illegal alien, that he could depend on the government to secure our borders and keep the bad people out. Yes, black families matter. Yes, military families matter. All families matter. But the duty of the U.S. government is to always put American families first. Honorable Chairman, I had a different name, I'm sorry. Honorable Chairman, Ranking Member, today's hearing was called to review the Department of Homeland Security's policies and procedures for the apprehension and detention and release of non-citizens unlawfully present in the United States. In his November 20th, 2014 speech to the nation on immigration, President Obama said, if you are a criminal, you'll be deported. If you plan to enter the U.S. illegally, your chances of getting caught and sent back just went up. The president said he wanted to work with both parties to pass a more permanent legislative solution. The president also said, and to those members of Congress who question my authority to make our immigration system work better or question the wisdom of me acting where Congress has failed, I have one answer: pass a bill. In 3 of the past 4 Congresses, Representative Walter Jones has introduced the Legal Alien Crime Reporting Act, which would address many of the issues this hearing was called to discuss, but could never get a hearing. In the 113th Congress, Representative Jones renamed the bill after my son, H.R. 1888, the Jamiel Shaw Jr. Memorial Act of 2013. never got a hearing. As we sit here today, I offer for consideration H.R. 1041, Jamiel Shaw II Memorial Act of 2015. It is only 2 pages long, but chops at the root of the problem. Until the FBI is allowed to track and report illegal alien crime, it is doubtful that the American people will understand how severe the problem of violent illegal alien crime is. I doubt any 10 people would define comprehensive immigration reform the same way. But I can assure you that what we really need is comprehensive immigration enforcement, secure borders and ports of entry, and the oversight of Congress is to ensure that America and American families are job one. Thank you, and I welcome your questions.
Thank you, Mr.
Mr. Shaw, first I want to, again, as I've done for many years, to extend to you, your wife, and your family my deepest sympathy in the loss of your son, Jamiel. He was an outstanding young man, academically and athletically, and to know that someone who came to this country illegally and murdered him, and the fact is that that does not show up in any statistical report. It's just not right. And that's why, again, I have joined you and many others who believe that information can help America be a safer place to live. And we have reintroduced, this time it's H.R. 1041, 1041, H.R. 1041, and it's named for your son. And his sacrifice and the sacrifice of you and your family.
Thank you. I appreciate all you've done for us over the years. You know, you've worked 5 Congresses, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Congresses, you know, and you, the 110th, 11th, 12th, 13th, and 14th. That just shows your dedication. You know, we appreciate what you're doing for my family and for America, because this is for America.
Well, Mr. Shaw, I don't understand why Congress does not give us a hearing on this. It's not about me. I just happen to be the bill sponsor. It's about you and all the other families who felt the same type of pain that you have felt when someone in this country illegally murders and yet they're not reported. That's all this is asking for, is to allow the American people to know those in this country illegally who have committed a crime. To me, it is so simple that it's embarrassing that we have to continue to introduce this bill.
Right, yeah, you would think once and once would be enough. Who could be against illegal alien crime reporting? You know, we're talking about criminals, the bad people, the ones that the president told us that he would protect us from. That these are the ones we want, the violent, the criminals. You know, and just appreciate your dedication and not letting it die.
Well, I did not
for
have
you, we couldn't do it.
the privilege to know Jamiel, but knowing that he was a young man who was academically gifted, he worked hard to achieve his academic success, and he was an athlete who had scholarship offers from Stanford and Rutgers and other colleges. He was just in the 11th grade when his life was taken.
Man, it was nice, you know, looking up from there up to where he was, and it was like, wow, I really felt proud that, you know,
should have.
Yeah, we did something, you know, finally something good, you know, and to all that to end up in a funeral, you know, while his mother is in Iraq serving the country, second tour of duty. She hasn't been the same since, but she just, I guess she sort of like likes the Army because she's been in there for so long that she's able to just use that as protection. She doesn't have to speak out that much. But
if we want to honor your son, we will pass this bill, H.R. 1041, that's named for your son.
Thank you. And I just want everybody to understand that what Representative Jones has done is for America. My son is dead, and it's sad, but Representative Jones is definitely stepping up to the plate, and he's letting it be known. He put his name on it, and we have to appreciate him for that and to help him get this passed. So go to your congressperson in your community and tell them to sign up for H.R. 1041 to help protect America.
You know, you testified before the House Oversight Committee this morning, and the purpose of that hearing was to discuss the Department of Homeland Security's policies and procedures for the apprehension, detention, and release of non-citizens unlawfully present in the United States. It was some of the most compelling testimony I've heard given in one of these committees on these issues. And you quoted from a speech President Obama gave last November, in which he said, if you're a criminal, you'll be deported. If you plan to enter the U.S. illegally, your chances of getting caught and sent back just went up. But that's not what you heard at that hearing this morning is happening. And yet the President, and this was in your formal testimony, he said he wanted to work with both parties to pass a more permanent legislative solution. H.R. 1041 has bipartisan support. That's both parties. The President also said in that, and this is directly reading from your testimony this morning, you said the President also said, and to those members of Congress who question my authority to make our immigration system work better, or question the wisdom of me acting where Congress has failed, I have one answer: pass a bill. Mr. Shaw went into detail about your efforts, Congressman Jones, over the past 5 Congresses. Several of them this President has resided over.
Right.
We have yet to get a hearing. If the House Republicans and the Senate-controlled Republicans want to work across the aisle and with the White House on something dealing with immigration and national security and law enforcement and protecting American families, there's not another simpler, more chopping at the root of the problem bill than your H.R. 1041, the Jamiel Shaw II Memorial Act of 2015.
Jeff,
I can't thank you enough for it.
thank you and Mr. Shaw, and maybe this is the year.
It is.
Sometimes you have to keep beating on the door, but you would think when pain has been suffered by a family like the Shaw family and other families across this nation, I hope this will be the year we get that hearing and maybe movement on the bill. But we're going to do everything that we have told you and Mr. Shaw. I'm going to do a dear colleague. I might try to get the members who have signed the bill already that heard you speak today and to join me in the letter. And I'm going to put the handout that you've got of your beautiful son and all the trophies he's won academically and athletically. And I'm going to make sure that's an attachment to the letter that we write to members of Congress asking them to co-sponsor H.R. 1041.
Okay. Thank you very much. Appreciate everything you do.
I appreciate you.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Shaw. Thank you, Congressman Jones.
Thank you.